morning, beloveds. I'm running a little late because I got lost. Since Tom had yesterday off, we went to the park yesterday. And I said, well, then we'll sleep in a little bit and just go for a ride in the neighborhood. And we took a turn in the neighborhood, and it didn't go where I thought it did. So we got lost. So it took us a couple of minutes to figure out how to get back. So yeah, always an adventure. But, I'm just looking. I used the GPS though, so if I'd really gotten lost, I could have flipped into the app and planned a better route back than I had. But, wow. So, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. It's in the 40s out there. But, because it's in the 40s out there, we were completely layered up. So, you're exerting yourself and you get hot. And then you walk back into the house is in the 70s. And you're like, oh. Okay. It is January 2nd. Our title is I Am Conscious of the Currents of Life. The prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And that is from James 5:15. When we say that our body is spiritual, we are not denying our physical body. The physical is included within the spiritual. If the spirit or divine intelligence has seen fit to give us a physical body, it would be absurd to think that our body is an illusion unworthy of our attention. Rather, we should think of our body as a spiritual instrument, and every statement we make about our body or belief we hold about it that accepts the spiritual perfection as the substance of the body tends to heal. My body is the temple of the living spirit. It is a spiritual substance. It is spiritual substance now. Every part of my body is in harmony with the living spirit within me. The life of this spirit flows through every atom of my being, revitalizing, invigorating, and renewing every part of my physical body. There is a pattern of perfection at the center of my being that is now operating through every organ, function, action, and reaction. My body is forever renewed by the Spirit. I am now made vigorous and whole. I possess the vitality of the infinite. I am strong and well. The life of the Spirit is my life. All of its strength is my strength. Its power is my power. I feel that my whole being is renewed, invigorated, and made alive. There is complete stillness and perfect peace at the center of my being as I wait on that presence that makes all things perfect. Every breath I draw is a breath of perfection, revitalizing, upbuilding, and renewing every cell of my body. I am born of spirit. I am the spirit. I am the spirit made manifest. Oh, wait. I am in the spirit. I am the spirit made manifest. Okay. Well, so I would tell you straight off that if you are working on anything, if you are healing from something, if you're healing from an injury or an illness, or if you are doing the typical New Year thing where you recommit to healthy body, healthy mind, healthy life, then this is an excellent one for that. The title doesn't give you that though, because it does the very thing that we do believe. We believe that we would never deny the physical, which is why Ernest did focus on healing. He did focus on the healing because it's like while we are here, we do have a responsibility to take care of the form that carries the soul, because we are here for a purpose. Whatever you think your purpose is, if you don't feel like you know your purpose, then I would tell you what your purpose is to learn. Your purpose is to have an experience, to have experiences, to have, to enjoy life. That's what spirit wants. We are giving expression to spirit so that spirit learns. Spirit already knows everything, but for spirit to have experiences, it needs us. That's what we're here for. We are the physical manifestation so that spirit experiences things in physical manifestation. And of course, spirit wants us to be happy because spirit probably wants to continue to have experiences. Because what else is the point of creation? And so we believe that the physical body that carries around that spirit, that carries around that soul, is made of spiritual substance. It is spirit come into material form. And we do have the right, the responsibility, and the privilege of taking care of it. And so whatever that looks like, if it looks like fitness, if it looks like healing, if it looks like, whatever it is, then that's what we get to do. And this is a good one to do that with, because it acknowledges the spirit within, and it acknowledges what Dr. Amit Goswami in the Quantum Doctor talked about is the bliss body. It's like there's a perfect blueprint of us in spirit's mind, in God's mind. There's a perfect blueprint of us. And so anytime we get a little off or a lot off that blueprint, then we have the right and the responsibility to go back to that blueprint through the various spiritual practices of meditation, of prayer, of things like that, where we go back to the spiritual blueprint and go, oh, okay, and you bring that back with you into the material form. Because Ernest does talk about the healing arm of science of mind. So I just like the idea of a spiritual blueprint. If you've never read anything by Amit Goswami, Amit Goswami, maybe? I'll have to look it up. If I remember, I'll put it in the comments. He's fascinating. He's a nuclear physicist, very involved in spirituality. So, I am conscious of the currents of life. In the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. Like I said, God has a perfect blueprint of us. We have the right to go and take a look at that blueprint and make the appropriate adjustments in the material world. When we say that our body is spiritual, we are not denying our physical body. The physical is included within the spiritual because the physical is made from the spiritual. All the substance, we all come from the same source. Physics tells us that. It's like molecules, atoms, electrons, neutrons, protons, photons. We're all made of the same stuff. We're all made of spirit. If the spirit or divine intelligence has seen fit to give us a physical body, it would be absurd to think that our body is an illusion unworthy of our attention. I just saw a quote from Terry Pratchett, who's an English author. And he said, if we stop telling people it'll all be sorted after the dead, they might try and sort it while they're alive. And that's kind of this. It's like our body is not an illusion. It is what carries us around while we are having this material experience. And the better we take care of it, the more experiences we can have. And it also means that we don't have to suffer. It means that when we get injured or when we fall ill, for whatever reasons, you know, and I'm not going to say karma or, we've been bad. I don't believe that. I'm a proponent of environmental factors and things like that. That we should seek all appropriate methods. That means doctors and medicine and exercise and eating. We should seek all of that. We don't just pray it away. That is one of the many things that we can do. But doctors come from God too. Medicine comes from God too. Because the people who have created it, I'd like to think, are divinely inspired by a desire to help. So, it would be absurd to think of our body as an illusion unworthy of our attention. Ernest said that. Rather, we should think of our body as a spiritual instrument, and every statement we make about our body or belief we hold about it. Oh, okay. It's a very long sentence. Rather, we should think of our body as a spiritual instrument, and every statement that we make about our body or belief that we hold about it that accepts spiritual perfection as the substance of the body tends to heal. So, he's talking about self-talk. He's talking about self-belief. So that is one of the things that we have that we can do. Ernest is a believer in doctors and he's a believer in medicine, but he's also a believer in talking kindly to yourself, believing the best about your body. Because that will, he said it, tends to heal. So go back and look at your spiritual blueprint. Go back to go back to God's idea of you. Because God's idea of you is perfect, whole, happy, joyful. That's God's idea about you. So go back to that. Think about that. Tell yourself about that. Look at that blueprint. And those thoughts tend to heal. There's a lot of commas in that, so it was kind of hard the first time through. My body is a temple of the living spirit. Our body is a temple of the living spirit. It is spiritual substance now. Every part of our body is in harmony with the living spirit within us. I'm changing the pronouns. There's that statement. There's that affirmation. Every part of my body is in harmony with the living spirit within me. The life of the spirit flows through every atom of my being, revitalizing, invigorating, and renewing every part of my physical body. So the life of the spirit flows through me. Turn that faucet up. There is a pattern of perfection at the center of my being that is now operating through every organ, function, action, and reaction. A pattern of perfection. That's that blueprint. My body is forever renewed by spirit. And that's true. That's true. My body is forever renewed by the spirit. But at a certain point, we're going to change the body. And that's okay too. I am now made vigorous and whole. I possess the vitality of the infinite. I am strong and well. I mean, statement after statement after statement of affirmation and power. This is what he's talking about. Thoughts and beliefs that we hold about our body that accept spiritual perfection. I am now made vigorous and whole. I possess the vitality of the infinite. I am strong and well. The life of spirit is my life. All of its strength is my strength. Its power is my power. I feel that my whole being is renewed, invigorated, and made alive. Say that to yourself every morning 3 times when you get up. I feel that my whole being is renewed, invigorated, and made alive. There is a complete stillness and perfect peace at the center of my being as I wait on that presence that makes all things perfect. Jesse calls that the place that nothing's ever been wrong. And that's where we go. That's where we go to find that physical perfection, to find that spiritual blueprint. Every breath I draw is a breath of perfection, revitalizing, upbuilding, and renewing every cell of my body. I like that, upbuilding. I am born of spirit. I am in spirit. I am the spirit made manifest. That's a big ask. That is a big ask, to ask you to believe that you are spirit made manifest. But that's what we teach. That is exactly what Science of Mind teaches. Science of Mind teaches that we are the spirit made manifest. All right. So our mission, should we choose to accept it today, is to think of our body as a spiritual instrument. To think of our body as a spiritual instrument. To know that it is the temple of the living spirit and that it is spiritual substance now. And to know that we have a blueprint, a perfect blueprint. And we have the right to use any and all means within that perfect divine idea to get there. And that means going for your physical checkup, and that means going to the doctor, and that means taking your medicine and eating good food and exercising and doing all of that so that you can continue to have experiences with spirit. So, all right, I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like to you. The more kindness, compassion, and loving that you can be with yourself, the more you will have to share with the rest of the world. And that's how we get there. That's how we get to a world that works for everyone. We go to that place at the center of our being where nothing has ever been wrong. We look at that perfect blueprint for us, and that perfect blueprint for the world, and we bring that back with us. All right, beloveds. It is Saturday, which means that tomorrow we will have a fantastic service for you. Not sure what that's going to look like, but hey, I will go get that title posted for you so you'll know what Jesse's going to be up to. And then I will, Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. today. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. And then we will have a service for you at 11 right here on Facebook Live. All right, beloveds. Have a wonderful day.